Hi guys and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti and today I'm going to be giving you guys some romance book recommendations. Now I've already done one video like this last year, so if you guys want, I'll link it up here so you guys can check it out. But the way that I'm going to be approaching this video is that I've basically divided the romance genre into subgenres. So you'll get to know as we go along in this video. So yep, without further ado, let's just get started. So the first subgenre is crushes. So these are books which are basically about crushes, and you know that feeling of your first crush when you have butterflies in your stomach, and like it might not be like a full-blown love story, but it's the feeling of puppy love. So the first book that I have in this category is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Now, this book is just the quintessential young adult book because it has all the tropes. So it has the whole boarding school in a foreign land trope. It has the leaving your best friend and perfect life behind to go off on a mysterious adventure in a foreign land. And of course, it has the whole falling in love with the hot foreign dude trope. So it's just very, very trope filled, but it is so much fun. Like honestly, it's the perfect young adult rom-com type of book. So what it follows is that our main character Anna has to go to a boarding school in Paris in France, and I can't remember the reason why she has to go to the boarding school, but she's really upset about it because she has to leave her best friend. She has to leave like this guy who she has a crush on, who might become her boyfriend. Like she has a very good life in the US and she has to leave that and go to Paris. So she's upset about it until she meets this hot French dude named Etienne, and of course she starts having feelings for him, but Etienne has a girlfriend. So of course there is drama, there's love triangles, and it's just basically, it follows Anna having adventures in Paris with this hot dude and some other friends she meets over there. So perfect rom-com young adult book that will just give you those butterflies in your stomach, and yeah, it's just really, really fun. The next recommendation I have is Call Me Maybe by Cara Bastone. Now this is an Audible original, so it's only available on the Audible app, and if I'm not mistaken, it's available for free. I'm not sure, at least it was available for free when I downloaded it, but honestly, even if you have to spend a credit on this, it is just the sweetest and the cutest love story ever. Basically, it follows our main character Vera, who is designing a website for her startup idea, which is called Date in a Box. And like something is majorly wrong with her website, like it's glitching. So she calls the customer help hotline and she gets in touch with Cal. Now, Vera and Cal, their like first customer service phone call lasts for like 8 hours. And over the course of those 8 hours, as they're trying to figure out what is wrong with Vera's website, they start developing feelings for each other. So the entire audiobook is like a conversation between Vera and Cal, whether on the phone or via text. And it happens over a course of like 2 days or something like that, as they keep talking to each other and they develop feelings for each other. And again, it's that it gives you that feeling of like the first time you meet someone new and you have a crush on them, and like, you know, you don't know if they're going to ask you out or what's going to happen. Like, you know, it gives you those feelings and it's just so sweet. So this is a dual cast audiobook. So there is one narrator for Vera and one narrator for Cal. So again, it's a very, very like engaging and a very immersive listening experience. So definitely check it out. Okay, so the next category is intense love stories where the characters have a very deep emotional connection. The first book in this category is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Science. I have spoken about this book a million times on my channel, I feel. So if you haven't picked it up yet, what are you doing? Please read this book because it is so, so good. Basically, it follows the development of like friendship and love between Aristotle and Dante, and it just talks about how they both kind of discover themselves and also explore their sexuality, and also how they deal with just being teenagers and all issues that come with being teenagers, whether it's like, you know, their feelings, so like having crushes and whatever feelings they have towards each other, or also about their relationship with their parents, because one of them has a slightly complicated relationship with his father, so it's about exploring that. So it just explores like a multitude of emotions and just things that you go through when you're a teenager. But what is the best is just the way the friendship between Aristotle and Dante is described in this book, and it's just so wonderful and so emotional to read. So definitely check it out. It is a beautiful book. It has an almost poetic kind of feel to it, but it is quite easy to read and understand. So please check it out because it is just absolutely brilliant. And the next book in this category is also one that I have spoken about many times on my channel, and that is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Now, this one also talks about the friendship and love between Patroclus and Achilles, who are both kind of like Greek mythological characters, and it talks about how their relationship and bond evolves from when they are kids, when they are training and like training to become soldiers, I guess, and what happens when they both have to go to war in Troy, which is basically, you know, the whole war of Troy, where Helen gets kidnapped and where they all go to bring Helen back. So how the entire war and everything that happens over there, how it affects their relationship, that is what is explored in this book. And it's basically based off of the Iliad, which was written by Homer. And again, it is just absolutely beautiful. I've said this many times on my channel, so definitely check it out. Again, the bond between Patroclus and Achilles is so wonderful and so beautifully written. So please check it out. It is again a fabulous book. The next category that I want to talk about is heartbreak. So basically, these are stories where there is love, but there is an element of heartbreak and sort of getting over that heartbreak. So the first one that I want to talk about is The Stationery Shop of Tehran by Marjan Kamli. If you guys don't know, this is also the book that we are going to be discussing for the Book Bound Club that is happening not tomorrow. It's happening on Saturday at 7 p.m. It's happening on this channel. So if you guys haven't finished reading Stationery Shop of Tehran, please do it. It's a short enough book, so you guys should be able to finish it, and it's a really good book. So what this book follows is the love story between two characters, Roya and Bahman, and they live in Iran. And the love story kind of spans between 1953 to 2013, so like almost 70 years. And it basically talks about how Roya and Bahman, they meet at a stationery shop in Tehran, how they fall in love, and how the political turmoil that happens in Iran, as well as other kind of like things that happen, I don't want to spoil it, so like things that happen in their relationship that cause them to break apart, and how they kind of reconnect like 60 years later, and they basically discover why the two of them had to split in 1953. I don't know, it kind of reminded me of The Notebook, like I've not read the book by Nicholas Sparks, but like the movie The Notebook, it kind of reminded me of that. And again, it's just a really beautiful story. It is extremely emotional. I cried while reading this book like 2 times. There were just 2 instances that really like melted my heart, and again, beautifully written. The way Marjan Kamli talks about like atmospheres, especially like the way she describes food and the way she describes smells and the way she describes just like different senses, so like taste, smell, and like sounds, the way she creates that atmosphere is absolutely beautiful. So it really feels like you are in probably like, you know, a place where Persian food is being cooked, or in a marketplace where certain things are being sold. So she creates a really amazing atmosphere. So yeah, definitely check out this book. It was really good. The next book that I have in this category is An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. Now this follows our main character Colin Singleton, who's kind of like a genius, but he's only dated girls named Catherine, and all these Catherines have broken up with him. So when the 19th Catherine breaks up with him, he kind of just, you know, he's had enough. So he goes on a road trip with his best friend, and basically during this road trip, he's trying to get over his last girlfriend and also trying to develop a formula that can help people analyze whether you would be the dumper or the dumpy in a relationship. So whether it would be you who will do the heartbreaking or whether it will be you who will get your heart broken. And of course, when he is on this road trip and traveling with his friend, he meets another girl and things start brewing. So again, a really, really fun, like, young adult story. I really liked the different, like, geeky things that John Green has incorporated in the story. A lot of people don't like it, but there are a lot of, like, graphs and scientific equations and things as Colin is trying to come up with his scientific formula to figure out who's the dumper and dumpy. So there are all those, like, scientific, pseudo-scientific things which are there in the book, which I found very interesting, and it was just a really geeky addition to the book that I loved. I know a lot of people have not found it interesting because of those graphs and whatever, but I really liked it. So if you are, like, a little bit geeky and if you want, like, just a fun young adult road trip, heartbreak kind of story, then definitely check out this book. And the last category that I want to talk about is unconventional or complicated relationships. And the first book that I have in this category is The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. Now, this book is not just a romance book. It definitely does explore the entire aspect of relationships and unconventional relationships at that, but it also talks a lot about philosophical learnings and about philosophy in general. So basically, this book talks about 4 individuals, all of whom have, like, very unconventional and complicated relationships with each other. So the main theme in terms of relationship that is explored in this book is infidelity. But this inherent infidelity that is there amongst all of these people is linked to Milan Kundera's main philosophy in this book, which is, what kind of life do you want to lead? So do you want to lead a light life, one which doesn't have a lot of commitments and where you essentially believe that life doesn't really have a meaning or purpose? Or do you want to live a heavy life, one which is full of, like, commitments and you're burdened by those commitments and you're trying to find meaning and purpose in life? But the beauty of Milan Kundera's writing is that even though he's explained all of these philosophies and he's explained everything through the lives of these 4 characters and through their relationships, he never once preaches or tells you what kind of life you have to lead. Like, he leaves it up to the reader to decide what kind of life they want to lead. He just gives his philosophies and he tells his stories about these characters, but at the end, it's based off of what you truly believe and the lesson that you kind of take away from this book. So it's just a really, really interesting book and just a very, very interesting take on infidelity. So yeah, if you're interested in that subject, then I feel like you should definitely check out this book. It was very, very interesting. And the last book that I want to talk about is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, this one also talks about various unconventional and complicated marriages and relationships. Basically, it talks about the life of Evelyn Hugo, who was a very famous Hollywood actress in the 1950s, a fictional Hollywood actress in the 1950s. And it talks about how she kind of struggles to make it in Hollywood and mainly why she's had 7 husbands and who was her one true love. And again, it was just very, very interesting to read. Taylor Jenkins Reid is a phenomenal writer. She really captures emotions and nuance so well, and the way she has painted the picture of, like, 1950s Hollywood is so immersive that, like, she really brings that era to life. So again, a very atmospheric, amazing, engaging book with really good character development. So yeah, if you're interested in kind of, like, historical fiction in a way, then definitely check out The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So yeah, that was my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of different format. If you did, please let me know down in the comments what you guys thought and give this video a big fat thumbs up. Leave another comment letting me know some other romance books that you guys recommend. I would really like to know which other books I should read in this genre. And of course, oh wow. And of course, do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.